Well, I am in Temomul village in Bomet East constituency, Bomet County, and this is just 4 days after the UDA party held its nationwide party primaries. And I'm here because of one girl who is trending all over. You probably have heard about her. And as you're asking questions about who is this lady? Who is this 24-year-old who dared to dream? And the people of Bomet believed in her dream. I'm talking about Linet Chepkorir, alias Toto, who won the UDA certificate of the UDA card to vie for the Bomet Woman Representative. Linet, thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us on KTN News. I'll start with this question, which everyone is definitely asking themselves right now. At 24, having been elected in a county, who are you?
Okay, first of all, you are all welcome. My name is Linet Chepkorir, famously known as Toto. This is my home, Shemamul village, Mirigi Ward, Bomet East Sub-County, Bomet County. This is where I grew up. I went to Kapsimbiri Primary School, that is from class 1 to class 8. From there, I proceeded to Kapsimbiri High School, Form 1. Form 2, 3 and 4, I shifted to a certain school at Longisa Cool Seaward. Then from Seaward, I joined Tharaka University College. And last year, through the mercies and the grace of God, I was able to graduate, having pursued procurement. Thank you.
Well, a very short story that is. Born here, gone to school, graduated last year. Let me go first to the name Toto. Is it a name you had before politics, or is it a name that you are nicknamed in politics because you're young?
That was the name I used to be called even before I joined politics. Yes. Then
what made you think, even to conceptualize the idea that you were going to vie for an elective post? And actually woman representative, not MCA, not any other seat. Why? When did you conceptualize that idea?
Okay. First of all, this is the dream that I've been having all along, even before, when I was still young. And to begin with, when I was in primary school anyway, I was a class monitor from class 1 to class 7. Being in class 8, that was in Kapsimbiri, I was the school head girl. In high school, I was the class prefect from Form 1 to Form 3. Being in Form 4, that was in Siwat, I was the school president. And at the campus also, I was the female captain for all the female hostel, I mean. Back to the society, in our church, I'm a youth leader. I also lead all ladies. I'm a choir master. Being in our society, or rather our village, there is a certain group we formed long time ago. I remember I was a Form 1. I was in Form 1. The group is called United Youth Group. Those days, I had no idea. I was with very many people who are very huge. In one way or the other, they have experience, but I was elected to be the chairperson of that group, up to date. Now, being at our home also, we have a family. There is a certain group of our family, and I lead all the cousins. Another thing also, during holidays, long holidays, that is December holidays, I'm being called to assemble all ladies or all youths to talk to them before they break to school. So I realized I have leadership skills, and I knew from the word code that immediately after my studies, I'm going to fight for women rep. Yes.
Immediately after your studies, you're going to fight for women rep.
Why that's why I graduated last year, April, and on July, I decided to fight.
June 2021.
Yes.
How did your family take it? Toto is out of the blues telling us, I want to be woman rep for Bomet. Do you have any leader in the family?
Yes. Okay. How my family took it at first, it looked so, I don't know, it was very funny, by the way, because I remember I started by telling my father, I just informed him that I'm going to fight for women rep. But because he knows me, how I've been behaving at home, I've been a leader in school, in our church, in our village, he just take it positively. He tell me, I'm just wishing you well, just continue fine. Like my mother and my brothers and sisters, they were like, I'm too young. I could have looked for a job first, then to fight. Or rather, fight for MCA, at least for a ward, not a county seat. But to me, I was very determined and focused to fight for women rep. Yes.
Well, I think I would understand why your mother and siblings were concerned, because they said you have to look for a job first. That means, I want you to come to that. What job are you doing? Have you done any job so far? And the other concern would be, vying for such a big seat requires money.
Yes.
Did you have that money? So let's start with, did you have a job? Because your mother is here telling you, get a job first. You need to first work before you vie for, and you're too young.
Okay, and that is the big reason as to why my mother and my brothers and sisters were telling me not to vie. One, I was a fresh graduate from university and I've never worked anywhere. Also in our family, they are not well off in terms of finance. So they knew when you say today you want to actually fight for a certain position, at least you should have some amount to finance your campaign. So they knew me, I don't have money. How am I going to finance my campaigns? And even them, they don't have. And two, maybe I'm too young. I don't have that experience. How am I going to talk to people? How am I going to convince them to vote for me? And that was their worry. Yes.
Linet, you're telling me you haven't worked anywhere since you graduated? Not even a kibarua or something?
Not even. I've never.
Then that brings me to my next question. Now you have had the idea you want to vie for woman rep. You have the blessings of your father. Your mother is a little bit concerned. And you come to a place where the rubber has to meet the road and you have to campaign. Where do you get money? How do you even start? How do you start telling your neighbors? Where did you first make it public? Who did you tell first, aside from your family? Okay,
apart from our family, that's my parents and brothers and sisters, I informed my grandmother. And she just took it positively. She gave me all her blessings. Now, I told my friends, that's my classmates, schoolmates, they also endorsed me because of past experience. And then I went and tell my pastor, that was the time now when they planned about my endorsement. Because in our culture, for you to fight, you are supposed to be endorsed first by your clan members, villagers, and the church members. So, having actually decided to fight and having been endorsed at our home, I knew I had no money, and even everybody knew that. But I remember, I knew God was going to assist me. I used to pray. I told God, now that I'm going to fight and I don't have everything, you are going to provide me. And I want to tell you, this is a living testimony. I've never lacked since I started. People have been just assisting me, well-wishers, just from nowhere. I'm just being called, you are Linet, yes. Are you really fine? Are you serious? Someone is just sending me some amount. Someone is printing me posters. Someone is assisting me with these materials to run for my campaign. So, to shorten, God has been on my side. Yes, and He has provided me with all what it takes to run smoothly my campaigns. Yeah.
God has been on your side. I want you to take me to the day that you first made the announcement public. You have told your family, your friends, but now making it public to the people. What is it that they said? And where was this? And when was it? When you first took a microphone and told people, my name is Linet, I'm vying for woman representative, please vote for me.
I remember the first time to declare that I'm vying for women rep was at Longisa, a certain village called Olngosfet. So we were there assisting someone who was going to school. I was in that group. We had a group called, we used to post someone who wanted to be assisted financially. So on that material day, we decided to go to his home at Longisa. So when we were given a chance to speak, because I had already started saying I'm going to fight for women rep, posting in social media, but I never went to Crown. Now being in that place, Longisa, when I introduced myself, I say, my name is Linet Chepkorir and I'm vying for women rep. Just pray for me and vote for me. So people were laughing. They were like, very many people were laughing. They were like, I'm joking and I'm not serious. Now the second time is on our village. There is a certain man whom we had lost in our family, a relative. So when we were there during funeral, when all aspirants were called, to actually sell their manifesto, to say about their aspiration, the position they are finding. I was among them. People were laughing. It was like I'm joking, I'm not serious. Now people say that maybe I'm seeking publicity, I want to gain fame, and I'm never serious. By the time people actually agreed or convinced themselves that I'm fine, it's during my endorsement. I go all round for about 1 month, but people still could not believe that I'm fine and I'm serious. So it was during my endorsement when everyone agreed and decided to support my bid. Yes.
Well, you've said something interesting, that people would laugh when you said you want to vie. And I think I would understand their reaction. Because here's a girl who's just graduated. She's never worked anywhere. She doesn't have money. Siasa tu watu wanakwambia uko na nini mheshimiwa. And I'm sure your competitors were moneyed.
Yes.
So what is the worst that you went through the campaigns? People laughing at you. What was the lowest until at some point where maybe you got to a point of saying, do I really need to do this, or should I quit? Was there such a time?
Yes. Now, having started my political journey, the main challenge that I really faced is about finance. Leave alone even about handouts giving to Raya, but even for movements. Now, I want to go to Jebunya to sell my manifesto. From here to Jebunya is about 300 shillings. But even if I could not afford 50 shillings, 300 shillings could become a challenge. And that one could limit me not to go there to sell my manifesto. So the main challenge was finance. Yeah.
Let me take you back to your growing up, the setting in which you grew up. Did your parents give you roles? Did you have the roles of the usual Kenyan child in terms of after you graduated in April and upon your declaration in, was it June? What was your normal day like at home? Would you fend for the kettle? Would you say do dishes? Even as you're vying, would your mother tell you, mheshimiwa usilete hapa, omba washa vyombo na mambo kama hayo?
Yes. At our home, I'm just taking normal activities.
Are you the firstborn?
No, thirdborn. So I have first, second, then me. Even after vying, after declaring that I'm vying for women rep, I just take normal activities. I could wake up in the morning, go to river. River is just down there. Fetch water, fetch firewood, go to farm, even before I go to ground to look for foods. Yeah, so I'm just a normal person, even up to date. Even today in the morning, I was in the river washing clothes.
But you won the nominations. Why are you still doing this?
That one should not stop me from working or from assisting my parents.
No, look, Linet, we are in Bomet County, and in Bomet, winning the party primaries for a party like UDA is as good as winning the seat.
Yes.
You get to August, what will happen is that UDA is the biggest party here. People will do 6-piece, and you can say you're 1 foot into the office. So I'm wondering if 4 days after winning nominations, I believe right now your diary is so full, you're so busy, people looking for you, political leaders, the media is all over you. How do you find time? You're saying this morning you went to the river to wash your clothes.
I'm just telling you, river is just down there. Yes, and even today, what I'm just trying to tell you is that I'm not supposed, anyway, my dad is busy, I've become a bit busy, conversing with very many people, phone calls and all those. But at least I'm doing some activities, maybe early in the morning before I talk with Raya. Yes.
Let me take you to the 13th of this month. That was a day before nominations. People are voting. You're supposed to have your agents all over the county. How was that? How easy or how difficult was that, given that no one would do an agent's work without money?
Sorry?
The 13th of this month.
Yes.
The nominations were held on 14th.
Yes.
As an aspirant, you're supposed to have agents in all polling stations. Mm-hmm. You are anxious about the nominations the next day. You needed money to actually move your agents and all that. How did you overcome that? How did you go about that?
Okay, it was a very big challenge to actually get money to finance them. Because even if they volunteer themselves to assist you, someone cannot stand in that polling station from 6 to 6. That is to be sincere. But if you can still remember, earlier in our conversation, I told you God has been on my side. Because I remember 1 week before nomination, I cried to God. I really prayed hard that God, I was asking God, I've been in these campaigns since last year. Now we are heading to nomination. Now we are heading to nomination that it is going to determine whether I'm going to the next election or not. Now I have my agents. What am I going to pay them? And for sure, God assisted me. People could just assist me from nowhere.
You paid your agents?
I paid.
All of them?
Yes.
And you had agents in all polling stations?
In all polling stations. Though maybe I didn't pay them more as they expected, but they knew I'm just an hustler. But I just paid them with the little I had.
How much did you pay them?
300 each.
300 each?
Yes.
They must have volunteered, because I'm believing your opponents must have paid their agents more money and even tried to buy some of yours.
Yes.
So did you get challenges in terms of during the polls day, people are voting and you're told your agents have shifted, they're no longer working for you?
I didn't. All of them, they were very attentive. They get there in 6 in the morning, and they were there up to the last in the evening. Yes.
When you went now to the nominations on the 14th, and it's a choice between you and several other aspirants, and you're going to cast your ballot, did you have the attention? Did you even expect that you'd win at the end of the day? Because for us, the media, we usually predict that this is a person who might win, so as you go to poll, there's cameras and all that for you. Did you have that kind of attention?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
So they could tell from the start that you're winning?
Yeah.
So
and because of the prayer and faith, I knew I was going to win.
Fast forward, when did you start getting the message of, Linet, you're actually getting this?
Phone calls from many people. They could call me, hey, Linet, in this particular polling station, you are the leading. Linet, in Olngoswet, you are the leading. Very many of them were calling me.
Where were you by then?
Yes?
As you're getting these phone calls, where were you?
In the morning from 7 to around 10, I was just at home. And then from there, I went to vote for myself. And I went to a certain hotel called just to take a rest and glassing with my people, telling them how the nomination is ongoing. Yes, I was just relaxing and receiving phone calls from them, asking them how nomination is going on, how are they voting in this particular area, just like that.
Did you give up at any one time during that day? Did you get messages of places where you had not led, and at some point you said, I'm not winning this?
I never became disappointed, because I knew even me, in one area, I've become number 1, and there is number 2 and number 3. So it is just like the same way someone is number 1 and I'm number 2. Yeah, so I never get disappointed. You never got disappointed? Yeah, I never.
So let's get to now when the votes count is done, and I believe you went to the county tallying center.
Yes.
And the results are streamed there. And now they're calling your name as the winner of the UDA party primaries for the seat of woman representative. Tell me about that 2-3 minutes of screams, people screaming and applauding you.
Okay.
I'm sure your world must have stopped at that point.
Yes. I remember first, before going to county tallying center, that is St. Paquita's near St. Mary's, I started by going to sub-county tallying center.
For Bomet East?
Yes, for Bomet East. Though they were not yet through with counting, but they were telling me so far I'm the leading. I went to Tenwek, it was the same case. Saseta, the same case. And then to Kablong, the same case. I never get to reach to Shongiroi because of time. We were being needed at St. Paquita's. Now I came home and went to St. Paquita's. When we were waiting for the results to be announced, everybody was very eager to know about my results because they knew I have won. That is from the results that have been posted in social media and in polling station, agents informing us that I have won. Now, when they were actually giving us our certificates, I remember they started by announcing the results of the governor. They announced the second one was about the Senate. The third one was about the women rep. Before even uttering the name women rep, people were screaming, they were shouting, this is now what we were waiting for, because they knew I have won. So immediately when my name was called, Linet Chepkorir now as one, there were a lot of screams, shouts, people were dancing, they were singing. And even me, I was very happy. I was like, oh, I've been elected to be the county MP. Now I'm going to Parliament to represent my people of Bomet, and I knew, if not, in one way or the other, I'm the youngest aspirant. So I feel so nice. I feel so happy that I've been in this. I've been campaigning day and night. I've never stopped, and now God has rewarded me. I was the most happiest person.
Let's now talk about more serious business. Let's talk about Parliament. You get to understand that it's not about being a class monitor.
Yes.
It's not about being a school head girl.
Yes.
It's not about being a school president. It's not about leading in charge.
Yes.
You are going to Parliament, where your work will be to oversight, to legislate, and to represent the people of Bomet. This is no mean feat. Are you ready for the task ahead?
Yes, I'm ready.
What makes you think you're ready?
I'm ready because at first I've decided to fight, meaning I knew when I'll be elected, I'll be going to Parliament. I cannot be elected and stay at home. Of course, going to Parliament to represent my people. And there is this notion, people say, us as young aspirants or youths, we don't have experience. My question is, if we cannot be given that chance to lead, where are we going to get that experience?
Young people have gone before you and they have disappointed. Some of
No, unless they don't have that passion. If you really have that dream, you have that passion, then you don't have to get disappointed. Because even me, I don't want to cheat you that in one way or the other, I never get any negativity in the field. But because I was focused and determined, I never wanted to listen to those voices because I knew I'm heading to this direction. And actually, upon listening to these voices, they might hold me back. So actually, about the experience, I want to talk to people of Bomet. This is our time as youth. We want to be given that chance. Because even that person who is now having experience, in one way or the other, there was a time also, he or she didn't have that experience. And it is through the chance that she was given or he was given to have that experience. So even me, Linet, if it means to go to learn in the Parliament, I'm going to learn. And later on, I'll be having that experience.
You're going to a house full of experienced members of Parliament. Some of them have stayed there for 30, 35 years. Some of them are senior lawyers. You'll be expected to debate against some of them on the floor of the House. Linet, are you sure you want this?
Yes, I'm sure. And I'll debate.
Will you?
Yeah, I will.
Look, you're on the floor of the House. There's this very important bill. And I gotta be honest with you, the people of Bomet will start judging you in the first year you're in office. They'll start saying, better the other person. Linet is not perhaps delivering according to the expectations. Yet you have a mountain to climb in Parliament. What trick are you gonna use?
Okay, that's why I was telling you, I've just informed them, or actually assured them that I'm going to represent them well, and we are going to work together with them. If it means representation, I'll represent them well. And there is this verse which says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I'm telling you, if it was not for God, I don't think today I could be a nominee of Women Rep. So it is the same God who is going to fight for me. I'm going to represent my people well. Yes. You're
going to represent your people well. Let's talk about this incident that made many of us get to know you. On social media, on this date, you were trending that you had gone to the Deputy President's residence in Karen and that you were locked out. Is it true?
Yes.
What happened?
Okay, I was locked out by the security officers, not because they never wanted me to enter to that particular place, that is Karen, but because at that time, I don't know, I was so young, tiny girl, very little, and the way I dressed, you could not imagine I'm an aspirant. But upon showing them the message, because you could only enter there by showing them the message, because I already had the message, they were like, they have annoyed me. But to me, I knew they have just blocked me from the gate because I was young, and I could never look like any other aspirant. But after showing them the message, they allowed me to go to gate, they apologized, and all was well. I get to Karen, we continued with the meeting, and we came back home. I get to trend in the Karen. And I think that was God's favor because even me, I didn't know this photo is going to take me far. Yes.
Yeah. you're saying they blocked you from the gate of the Deputy President. So I want to know how you got to Karen. Did you go in a car? Did you walk? Did you use a motorbike? Then as these askaris are blocking you from accessing the residence, what were their exact words, if you can remember? What did they tell you exactly?
Okay, going to Karen, there were two options anyway. You could either use public means, or as well, if you have your own private car, you could use. Now, for me, I didn't have a private car. And for public means, you could only pay 2,000 Kenya money. So I have a neighbor here who was also filing for MCA, and he is stable financially. So 2 days before we go to Karen, he called me. Linet, have you registered? Because first you are supposed to register so that you can be given a message to your phone. Yes, I've registered. I answered him. Are you going to Karen? Yes. What are you going to use? Like what? He asked me whether I was going to use that public means. I told him, yes, I'm going to use public means. Have you paid? No. He told me not to pay. He is going to assist me with this car, to and fro. Now, it was on a Monday that we started going to Karen. That was at around 2 a.m. We went to Karen. We get there at around 8 a.m. We were at Karen. Now, being at Karen, he was the first one to get to Karen before me, because there was someone I was waiting for, a certain lady. She was filing for MCA, and she was using public means. So I had a ID. I had to give her her ID. So I was waiting for her. So that MCA actually got before me.
You allowed him to access?
Yes, because eventually, or at long last, I was going to use my own message or my own phone to show them. Now, when we get there, there is this certain lady. She was vying for women rep in Baringo County. I cannot remember her name. So we were queuing. There was a line. We were queuing. So being in that line, I was going after her. Now, to those security officers, they were thinking that she's my mother. And I want to get advantage of getting in because I'm with my mother. Are you getting? No, being at the gate, she was asked whether she was an aspirant, and she replied yes. She gave out the message, and she was told to enter into that particular gate. Now I was the next person. Me trying to show them the message, they told me, no, young girl, young lady, go and wait for your mother back there in the car.
In Swahili? Tell me, I'm sure they spoke to you in Swahili.
Yes.
Tell me how exactly they said.
Okay, waliniambia, msichana, enda mgoje mama wako huko kwa gari. I told them, no, I don't have my mother here. I'm also an aspirant. They took long time to agree with me until I showed them the message. That was the time they apologized. They told me, we are very sorry, you look too young and you have never dressed like an aspirant. We were expecting you to be maybe in a car, in expensive clothes and all those. So I was given that chance to go to Karen. Yes.
Wow, it's a good thing that they actually apologized immediately.
Yes.
But have you had a chance to have a chit-chat or a word with the Deputy President throughout your campaign when he comes to Bomet? And have you had a chance to talk to him? What does he say, especially given that you're a young aspirant? How supportive has he been?
Okay, we have never have a conversation with him. But when I was at Karen, I took some photos. My intention was to at least show maybe my children in future that one day I was at Karen being the youngest aspirant. But for me, I didn't know I'm going to train. So actually, after coming from Karen, I trained everywhere, social media, Twitter, Facebook, newspapers, everywhere. And until now, everyone knows Toto is fine for women rep. She comes from Bomet. She's an hustler. And she portrays the image of the hustler. Now, when the DP was coming to Bomet, that was on 10th January. Yes, I remember. I was given a chance to address because people already knew me and it was a public demand that Toto must stop. So that was the time when deputy realized that, oh, she's Toto and she's fighting for women rep. But I never get that time to talk with them because of that tension. It was in Bomet. Yes. And
I understand that. I remember the tension.
but the only support that I have received from him is that I want to thank him for introducing the Asla narrative and actually for giving us that space as a youth to fight for these various positions. Yes, I really thank him and I'm praying for him.
The hustlers have a chance?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Well, you're in politics, and upon winning, so many things are bound to be said. A lot of true and untrue information. And this will just be the start. As you go, hopefully you get elected, move on to office, lots of things will be said. And one of the things that is currently being said about you is that you have a family. Is it something you're comfortable to talk about? And if yes, you may want to clear the air. It is written on social media about Toto, and there is nothing wrong with that. Toto has, at 24, has a family. How true or untrue is that?
Okay, me, from my history, I've just told you I graduated recently. And maybe anyway, to be precise, I don't have a family. Yes.
Not a husband, no children?
Not.
Where is it coming from? Because it's all over social media.
Those are just but propaganda, rumors. You see, when today, like me, I think it has been God's favor because my name has been just like a bushfire. So like everybody knows Toto, and maybe those people don't know who the real Toto is. So because of maybe jealousy and because of these politics, that one is a propaganda. There was a time when they say I never went to school. They also say I've been married at Kisii.
I heard that.
You heard? Yes, but me, since I was born, I have never went to Kisii. I don't even know the direction of going to Kisii. Yes, they also say very many things. But I was telling you, if you can listen to those voices, they can actually stop you from realizing or achieving your dreams. Yes.
And it's important I say that there is nothing, even if it were true, there is nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
Because that is your life. Everyone gets to live their life, and don't let such hold you back. But final word, even as we wind up this interview, the people of Bomet have got very high expectations of you. They say to whom much is given, much is expected. Hopefully you get into office after the 9th of August. What is the first priority, or the top 3 priority on your to-do list, especially looking at the kind of office you're having? This is an office that was formed due to affirmative action. What are your top 3 priorities for the people of Bomet and the people of the Republic of Kenya? Because once you're elected, you won't just be, when you swear, you won't swear of the Republic of Kenya.
Yes, first, when I get to that office, first I want to empower women, or rather I want to work with women. I want to empower them. 2, I want to empower youths. And 3, I want to work with BWDs, or people with disabilities. I think you have asked me about the 3 top. Yes.
How exactly do you intend to do this?
Okay, like 1, in the side of women, as you understand, in this office of the women, there is this one called affirmative van. So, and of course, it cannot assist individually. So I'm only going to assist them through groups. And first of all, I know we have women who already have registered groups and those who do not have. So I'm just encouraging them to form themselves, to group themselves, have this group registered. Having been registered, I want to talk with them. I want to liaise with them through public participation, so as to tell me what exactly they want in that particular group, what that project they want to start in that particular group. So like for me, I don't want to tell them I'm going to do this and this. I want to be the one saying this is the project we want to start, so at least I have to fund them. In the side of youths, it is just the same case. I know the main challenge that we have as youths is about job. We have no job. So because there is no job, and today, even if I can be elected today, there is no way I can have all youths being in the government or having those particular jobs. So I want to encourage them. Let's also do the same way, just like the women have done. Let's be in groups. Let's register them. And let's think of what are we going to do in this particular group. Are we going to have tents? Are we going to have what? So I want them to liaise on themselves and agreed on one thing or on one project they are going to start. Which of course at the end of the day, at the end of 1 week or actually 2 weeks, they have profit. Something which is profitable. Yes. About the PWDs, before actually assisting them, I want first to know who are these people. So for me to know who are these people, like today, being in Chemamul, I cannot know in Chepchapas who is that someone living with a disability. So to know them is through public participation. Because being in that area, there will be those people to assist to tell you, in this village, we have this lady, we have this man, we have these women. So having actually found them, I want to have them in a conversation. We also converse with them to tell me, here is our challenges, because already I know there are challenges anyway, but there is that challenge they know, and they are saying if they can assist us like this, it will be better. So we converse with them to tell me how they want to be assisted. Yes.
Thank you so much. Perhaps lastly, what kind of cooperation have you been having with the county leaders here in Bomet? The leaders that you now talk about, Governor Barchok, the newly the UDF flag bearer in Senate, Wakili Sigei. What kind of cooperation are you having, and all the 5 MP aspirants?
Oh, I thank God. We are in a good relationship. We are in good terms with them. Yes, we are just going on well.
Thank you so much, Linet. Well, Linet Chepkorir, at the age of 24, has managed to do what remains a big dream for many of her age mates and actually many of her peers. She says that her campaigns are not easy. Talk about money, talk about people not believing in her. And she says that that particular incident in which she was nearly locked out of the Deputy President's residence is what built her. She says that those officers eventually apologized, and she has received immense support from the party leadership of UDA and all the aspirants from here. But let's see how it will be for the next, in 3 months rather, as Kenyans go to the polls. Linet, being in UDA and in Bomet County, is as well as in office, 1 foot into the office already. But if the people of Bomet confirm her win on the 9th of August, you will be seeing more of this face on the floor of the House, and she promises to be a great debater. That's all we have from this county of Bomet. My name is Ibrahim Karanja.